500 attempts to try and get this perfect PAL, and I finally achieved it, guys. In this video I'm going to showcase to you how you get this incredible OP Dark PAL known as Frost Stallion Nut with the best passives, the secret skill, everything you need to know. How's it going, people? My name is DPJ, and before we go any further, I'm giving away a couple of copies of this game or any game of your choice. To be with a chance of winning, simply drop a like on the video, leave a comment down below, make sure you are subbed, and I will pick winners from the comment section and announce them Sunday evening. Good luck, everybody. So I've already uploaded a video on the best SHADOWBEAK you can get possibly in the game with this amazing Dark Wisp hidden skill. In today's video, guys, I'll show you how you can get this exact setup on Frost Stallion Nut. All the same passives, the same amazing skill, and how you breed it to this point. So let's start. And firstly, guys, you actually need to get that perfect build of the SHADOWBEAK. This is an absolute must. This means we need a SHADOWBEAK with Ferocious, Musclehead, Legend and Lord of the Underworld in regards to its passives, but we also need to have that skill of Dark Wisp too. The process is long, but it's definitely worth it, just to even get SHADOWBEAK, never mind Frost Stallion Nut. So I'll drop a bit of footage from a video I already made, which gives you the best rundown of how you get this incredible SHADOWBEAK, which actually starts with us having to catch the tower boss. So check out the footage from my older video on the screen now. But firstly, we need to use that tower boss glitch to go and catch Victor and SHADOWBEAK. How this is done, I will explain in a second. Now, the reason we want to catch this tower boss is because this tower boss and its SHADOWBEAK has an exclusive skill on it that's stupid OP called Dark Wisp. Now, as far as I'm aware, this is the only place you can get this. There's nowhere else in the game this drops. It's only available on this boss. Firstly, you want to catch this tower boss. Now, if you don't know how this is done, it's quite simple. You first need to attack a friendly NPC so you get that wanted status on your screen. This can be done anywhere where there are those friendly NPCs, but I recommend you head into the small settlement found right here on the map. Once you load in here, guys, attack any of these NPCs and then simply just fast travel to that tower boss, seeing where I go right here on the map. Now, once you enter this fight, you will notice that you are still wanted and the NPCs chasing your ass down will enter the fight with you. From here, guys, you want to try and get the NPCs and the tower boss to attack each other, but you do not want to attack either of them, so do this by running between the two and hopefully they fire off a shot that hits one or the other. Once they do, guys, 9 times out of 10 the tower boss glitches out and runs into the corner. From here, guys, you simply run up to it and throw a sphere at it. Doesn't matter what sphere it is, it will always come up with a 0% capture rate, but you'll capture it either or, so it doesn't matter. So throw the sphere at Victor and SHADOWBEAK's back. I think this may be needed, and then you have this in your collection. Again, they come with this Dark Wisp ability, which is incredible. Now that we do have it, guys, it's important to note, when it comes to breeding tower bosses, every combo you have seen on those online calculators is false besides one calculation. If you breed said tower boss with same said PAL, they will result in being the same said PAL. For instance, here, if we breed Victor and SHADOWBEAK with a normal SHADOWBEAK, you get SHADOWBEAK. Any other form of breeding will result in, I believe, a Chickapee, which, by the way, I do recommend you doing after this setup is done, because that Dark Wisp skill can pass down, so we can indeed use this on Chickapee at a later date and possibly add it onto other pals if needs be. But yeah, breeding Victor and SHADOWBEAK with another SHADOWBEAK will result in a SHADOWBEAK egg. But it doesn't end there, guys. The skill isn't a guarantee, so numerous breeding between the two will possibly be needed unless you are super lucky and get it first time. But wait, before you even do that, guys, before you breed these two SHADOWBEAKs together, you want to make sure you have the best SHADOWBEAK first with the ultimate passives to make sure that this skill, when it lands, is as deadly as possible. This means, in my opinion, having a SHADOWBEAK with the passives of Musclehead, Ferocious, Legend and Lord of the Underworld. What these do are as follows. Musclehead will give you a 30% increase to that attack power. Yes, it takes away from work speed, but that isn't needed here. We then want Ferocious. This gives you a further 20% attack damage. We then want Legend, which gives you a further 20% increase to that attack. and a 20% increase to defense, as well as a 15% increase to movement speed. And then lastly, Lord of the Underworld will give you a further 20% increase to that dark damage attack. So yes, these are the 4 passives you must have. But this is where it may get a little confusing. The Lord of the Underworld passive only comes from Necromus, the legendary world boss. There is no other way in getting this, but Necromus also comes with Legend 2. That's 2 of the 4 passives we need straight away, which is definitely a bonus when it comes to passing these on via breeding, as you probably well know. So we will eventually need a Necromus within our arsenal to even get this set up, but firstly we worry about the other 2 passives first, which actually can come on any pal. These are Ferocious and Musclehead. Now we need a mating pair of pals which have these passives on them. Now for me, the fastest route to the offspring we want would be 1 parent with 1 passive each. Problem is, passives seem really random, and although they do and can pass down, getting what you want exactly is harder than you may think. Okay, so what we are looking for here guys is parents, and we need parents with 1 of these passives each. The best route in doing this that I could find is a Sparky and a Relaxaurus. So yes, firstly you want to go and grab that Sparky. Yes, the little electric fellas, easy to find, easy to catch. Get as many as you can until you get one with either Ferocious or Musclehead on them. Or if you're lucky, you may land one with both passives on. But yeah, that's extremely lucky. Once you've achieved this guys, you want to go and get yourself a Relaxaurus. Again, you want to look for the opposite sex obviously, and one which also has the passive on you need in regards to Musclehead or Ferocious. Once achieved guys, breed these together until you get a Relaxaurus Lux with these 2 passives on it. Shouldn't take you long, but if you can, you want to try and land yourself a Relaxaurus Lux with these 2 passives on it and nothing else. It may be a long shot, but if you've got the spare cakes, you may as well try this. Now from here guys, you need to get yourself a Necromus if you don't have it already. Now this world boss is a part of the pair, but it's only him we need to catch at this moment. Again, he has the other 2 passives on him as standard, Legend and Lord of the Underworld. 2 very important passives to this setup. Okay, so once you have this Necromus guys, you now want to breed these 2 together, the Relaxaurus Lux and the Necromus. This guarantees you an Astagun baby. Now breed these until you get the Astagun with all 4 passives on it. No excuses here guys, you need all 4 passives on the Astagun, it's an absolute must. Now you have this guys, I mean you can always try and breed a second of the opposite sex, so you have a mating pair with the same 4 passives, that's perfect. But yeah, once you have the Astagun with all 4 passives on, we now need to pass those passives onto a Shadowbeak, and the only way to do this guys is to breed Astagun with a Kitten. Now the Kitten, luckily enough, is an easy breed. The parents of Grisbolt and Lamble guarantee you a Kitten, Jolthog and Relaxaurus guarantee you a Kitten, Gobfin and Serpent guarantee you a Kitten, Rusher and Penking guarantee you a Kitten, Liftmonk and Beacon also guarantee you a Kitten. There are many combinations you can use here, but you need to get yourself a Kitten. Now once achieved people, now you want to continuously breed that Kitten we just made with that Astagun until you get a Shadowbeak baby with all 4 passives. Eventually it will happen, but it's an absolute must. And don't worry about the other Shadowbeaks people that born and are useless, because we'll use them for infusion material later on. But eventually guys, you will get that Shadowbeak with said 4 passives. This again is an absolute must for this setup. Now when you eventually do, you have the perfect Shadowbeak to now breed with Victor and Shadowbeak to now hopefully get that baby Shadowbeak with all 4 passives and the Dark Wisp skill. Keep in mind, if the Dark Wisp skill isn't there when that baby Shadowbeak is born, I don't think you will ever learn it, so keep breeding away until you get this. It's definitely worth it people, and eventually you will get that Shadowbeak with all 4 passives of Lord of the Underworld, Legend, Musclehead, Ferocious and the Dark Wisp skill. Okay, so back to Frostallion Nut. So now you should have that Shadowbeak with the perfect rolls, all the passives and that skill, but we now need to pass all these onto the House Zephyr, which means breeding our perfect build Shadowbeak with one of the following pals, hoping to pass on all the passives and this hidden skill of Shadow Wisp. So you can breed Shadowbeak with the following and you'll get a House Zephyr: Warsect, Elizabeth, Mamarest or Mamarest Christ, Reptyro, Germantide or Germantide Ignis. These guys you can burn with that SHADOWBEAK and it's a guaranteed House Zephyr baby. Now for me personally, when it comes to me creating my SHADOWBEAK, I made sure I bred both male and female, the perfect breeding pair, having all passives and the skill, because I knew eventually something like this will come up. But yeah guys, take your pick of pals to breed with SHADOWBEAK. What I would say is you want to go for the one that has the least passives attached to it. I mean, like I said, it can be War Sector, Elizabeth, Mamarest, Mamarest Christ, Reptyro, Germantide, Germantide Ignis. Any of these guys you can breed with SHADOWBEAK and it guarantees you that House Zephyr. But again, you want to look for the one you've got, or go out and get one, catch one which has the least passives on it. Therefore, when it comes to breeding it with SHADOWBEAK, it means more times than not the baby is going to result in having more of SHADOWBEAK's passives, which is what we want here. We want to pass on SHADOWBEAK and all his passives and that skill onto that House Zephyr baby. So once you do have this House Zephyr baby guys, now guys you just breed this continuously with Frost Stallion. Yes, the legendary world boss of Frost Stallion. Breeding these two together guarantees you that Frost Stallion nut baby. But obviously you want that Frost Stallion nut baby to have all of House Zephyr's passives and that Dark Wisp skill. You don't want it passing on anything from Frost Stallion, obviously apart from Legend, which is something we already have now on House Zephyr. So yeah guys, do this until you get this Frost Stallion nut. I mean, it will take you a while unless you're super lucky. I'm thinking probably 100 eggs plus, but that's okay because you'll end up using these 100 extra and spare Frost Stallion nuts in the condensation machine to make your now final Frost Stallion nut the best version of it possible. And don't forget also guys to use the Statue of Power as well to level up that Frost Stallion nut even further, people. And don't forget guys, for even further damage on your Frost Stallion nut or any other dark pal, use those Who crates within your party. The more the merrier. The more you have, the more leveled these are, the more damage output they will add on to the attack damage of your Frost Stallion nut and SHADOWBEAK. So keep that in mind too, people. But yes, this is how you get the best version of SHADOWBEAK and Frost Stallion nut in the entire game. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, leaving a like really helps out. If you like what you see and want to see more, be sure to subscribe, and hopefully guys, I will see you on that next one.